G'day, I was doing welcome to another weekly recap. Look, I've been told by Mum I'm going to keep my yapping to a minimum, so how about we blast through the results from the week that has been. And round 11 has seen a few shocks. The Sharks, well, they went up 24 points to nil over the Raiders. Well, that wasn't a shock to anyone. But the men from Canberra were actually quite good. I thought they were just a bit unlucky with how territory turned out. They did a lot of defending, and they paid the price for it in the end. I just couldn't get much in the way of territory. Secondly, in a pseudo spoon ball, the Knights got up 12 points to 6 over the Panthers. And look, it wasn't the prettiest win, but Mama secures her first win as captain to see the Knights, I'm pretty sure, leapfrog themselves out of the bottom two spots. Lastly, we had the Dolphins take on the Titans on your Monday night footy. And what a game that was, 42 points to 30. The Dolphins just finding ways to pile points in the opposition. Justin Plays is a freak of nature. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them contending for that minor premiership come the business end of the regular season. Going on to Tuesday, and the Eels, they went down to the Doggies, 18 points to 6, in a battle of the western-ish suburbs. Or southwest, I guess you can consider Bankstown. The Eels, they were very, very valiant. Unfortunately, just lacked the firepower to compete with those top-tier squads, and the Bulldogs are one of those squads. They were excellent. Junior Haley in particular, I thought was impressive. Rabbitohs, they went down to the Cows, 20 points to 6. The Finn Manning project hits an almighty skid as it meant from Towns would deliver a beating at Redfern to just put a little bit of halt the momentum, I guess you'd say, of the Finn Manning project as it goes into round 12. Lastly, we had Wednesday, and two contrasting games. 3 points to 18. The Wires got up over the Tigers in an absolute bell ringer of a game. The Wires, excellent on attack. I think they've managed to turn around some really, really tough momentum in the last few weeks. And they got a very well-deserved win on the Tigers, who will slide to their second loss in a row. Lastly, the Storm, well, they got up 80 points to 12 against the Seagulls team that really, really put up a hell of a fight. I thought they were excellent, and I thought they're a bit unlucky not to come away with the win. But when you play a good team like the Storm, if you give them any inch, they're going to take a mile, and that's exactly what they did, as Jack White and his men look to secure that, a top 8 spot, or maybe a top 4 berth. We'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, we've got a hell of a show ahead of you, so we'll cut it back to the couch. Hello, welcome back to another Sunday show with Snicko and Johnboy. This time, actually on Sunday. It's been a busy week in the SRL. We've had a lot going on. Round 11 has come and it has gone. And in its wake leaves a SRL landscape that has radically changed. The powers that be that had been leading for a while seem to be fading off. As Snicko put it, we're starting to separate the boys from the men, cutting, the cream of the crop to see who's rising to the top. All that and much, much more to come in this episode. But Snicko, first and foremost, how was that bye?
Well, it was great. It's always good to get a free 2 points. It's almost like we played the Knights 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, man, if only someone at the Knights could hear us. Who saw that coming? I did, listening to the last Monday's episode. But I suppose the big news is the Dolphins managing to fandangle their way into second. They'll play the Dogs later this week, but we'll talk more about that later. But the Dolphins got up against the Titans. The Dogs are sort of a brave Eagles team as well. All happening, all while you guys were watching from home, Snicko.
Yeah, like we mentioned, a bit of a moving and shaking around this one. The top are starting to lengthen their lead and sort of that maybe 6 to 10 position. It's starting to tighten up. It's going to be a good race to the finals, I feel.
You'll be grateful for the gift 4 points the last 2 weeks then. But before we get into the previews, I think it's time for our favourite segment. I think it's time for our 6 Against, Snicko.
10 metres.
Take it away.
And I'm going to start with the Knights. And they have frequently been my 6 Against, but with Mama taking over, I'm starting to believe there's some fresh hope, fresh air injected. Obviously, he's taken Otis Keane as their vice captain, and I liked what I saw against the Panthers. 12-6. They probably should have won by more, admittedly. But they do find a way to make it difficult for you, the Panthers. So I was quite impressed with what I saw. And I think that could be not finals contenders, but, they could be there to make some teams' end of seasons very, very difficult.
I'm not going to touch that out of respect for your relationship to my but pull your head out of the sand, John Boy, with how the Knights have been going. I think that's the nicest way I can put it. And I'm actually going to touch on the Panthers, who previously I said they were a bit slow started. They were going to come good, and I just have to retract that. And first of all, I apologise to any Panthers fans I gave false hope to, but they are dreadful at the moment, man. They've had a hard hand dealt to them with the loss of a platinum, but at the moment, uninspired to watch. They look like they're going nowhere. Dom Young needs to get back to that fullback role if he can and try and spark him, because at the moment, I just don't know where the next win's going to come from.
I was thinking that I thought they missed a trick by shifting him into the halves because they also had enough strike power at the back to be a real threat in yardage, but I suppose hindsight and all that. Now, my second 6 again. I'm going with the Seagulls, and I've been quietly impressed with what has been building out in the Northern Beaches. Unfortunately for them, it's rather tough. I guess brought back down to earth is what I'd probably describe their loss to the Storm. They were competitive for sure, but 18 points to 12. They're going to be in a race with you and I believe the Cows and the Storm for those last 2 or 3 places that are largely undecided. I think the top 4, top 5, you'll probably have to rotate what order, but they'll probably finish the same. Those last three places are going to be quite difficult to tell. And I think the Seagulls are going to struggle, but they have been known to prove people on this podcast wrong before.
Not me. Are you talking about yourself there? I think everything I said about them's been quite accurate. But yeah, we
the Seagulls and all
that. Round 15, we versed them. So that could be a very decisive match, I found. But anyway, moving on to my next one. And the Tigers, they were good. They really were good for a couple of weeks. But let me tell you, haven't they come back to earth, John Boy?
Well, look. All I'm saying is once they started yapping in chat, it hasn't been a good 2 weeks with Connor Post.
Yeah, more on that man later on, actually. But yeah, just the Tigers, I think that they're not quite the false economy of the Eels, who went on to lose 5 in a row after I said they were no good. I think they're going to keep winning, but for a while they're looking like one of the top teams. I think they're going to settle in that sort of 4, 5, 6 range to finish the season.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing to push back on there. They've been disappointing. Is there a correlation between them spamming chat and them getting absolute hidings? Admittedly, they've played us and the Wire, so it's not exactly been easy games, but...
Well, we beat both of you guys.
Well, you're a pretty handy record against the top 4, actually.
We just can't beat teams that suck. So maybe this week against the Knights, we could be in a bit of trouble.
Right now, you're getting on my last nerve.
But I think that leads into my last 6 again. Oh no, does it? Yeah, it does. And I've got the Dogs. Yes. I've got the Dogs, and I know the Dogs. Whenever they hear me talk, are like, "Oh, John was going to rip into us again." And you're correct. I'm going to rip into you again. I don't see it. I genuinely, they're top of the table.
Bonkers.
They're top of the table. There's nothing more that you can say.
Big whoop. They beat the Eels by 2 tries. Who cares? Yawn. They're the Knights last week. Again, no disrespect to the Knights, but they only narrowly dispatched the Knights team, 24 points to 12. That hasn't been all that impressive. I just don't see it. Like, they've played good teams and lost. They lost to the Raiders and they lost to us. So I think they're flat.
Have they versed the Warriors yet? Have they versed the Tigers?
I don't know if they've faced the Wires yet. They must have played
a bit of a standard-setting game, that one, I feel. But yeah, they're coming first. Is that correct?
They are coming first, and they are first by a heavy margin.
Second.
Yeah,
exactly. I think that writing them off now is fraudulent behaviour from yourselves.
Fraudulent behaviour. Fair enough.
Yeah, anyway, moving on. Justin plays. He is my last 6 again, 6th tackle, and I think he should be the Queensland fullback. I was a bit of a hater, to be honest.
Yeah.
You might have heard me hate a couple of times on the Dolphins throughout this podcast, but I'm coming around slowly but surely.
So am I, to be honest.
And looking at who the Queensland team had at their back last time was Brodie Townshend, Ben Cummins, the Gabionis, I think, filtered in for a second. I think Justin plays. He could be the one to really push a Queensland rep spot or even an Australian rep spot. Well, should that be the way the international
he's the top try scorer in SRL at the moment. So I can't.
The boy can play.
We can play wherever he wants. To be honest, it's ridiculous.
That's what I mean. Yeah, put him wherever you want. And then I'm not sure what's happened on in his build, but he makes things happen around him. And yeah, I think that a lot of punters like myself might not have given him appropriate respect, but I think at some point you just got to cop it and say, that man. Yeah, exactly. He can play. Also,
just to clarify my last point, the Wires have played the Dogs, and they beat the Dogs 28 points to 18. Make of that what you will. It was at Belmore too, so maybe there's a bit of something in there. Maybe it's nothing at all. It was round 1, so it is a different SRL landscape. But Snicko, I believe it's time for us to reflect back a few years, go back in time, and really learn from our pasts. I think it's time for your Greek Freak of the Week.
Those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it.
Yeah, you say we go back a few years in the same way that the Tigers team, puts a few memes in chat. We're going to go back 1,000 years here, 2,000, 3,000. I'm actually not really sure whenever the ancient Greeks ruled the earth, but about that amount of time. This time, have you heard of my man Aegisthus?
No.
Dark dark story on this one, a deep pull, if you may. He was part of the Odyssey. Are you familiar with the Odyssey?
I am.
Homer's Odyssey. They get on the boat. They go do all these random things. So yeah, Aegithus, he was one of the guys that stayed behind. And they tried to seduce the wife, who they thought was now a widow. Are you familiar with that part of the story?
Yes.
Yep. As part of this, he murders another man and ignores a warning sent to him by Hermes. Later on, Aegithus is killed in revenge, and some people say he just had a really unlucky life, but Zeus himself comes down and says, he brought this disaster on himself, and you can't just blame bad luck. Now, you probably wonder why I'm talking about bad luck and whether you can blame it on yourself or not. Connor Post, welcome back into the podcast, friend of the pod. That man knows how to complain about a sim like none I have seen before. After the Tigers, they had some lucky ones, and you wouldn't hear a Bo Peep out there. All of a sudden, they lose a couple of games, and wouldn't you know it, if two's reporting it's like, if this game updated, are we using the right sliders? This sim is rubbish, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just got to copy medicine, don't you? And for that reason, just like Aegithus, who was told by Zeus himself that he brought this bad luck upon himself, I think the Tigers have done the same. They flirted with fate. They got very heavy in the memes. They really started to get a bit, I wouldn't even say cocky, but they got a bit of confidence about them. And yeah, you tempt fate in the SRL and things are going to come down against you. And for that reason, Connor Post, here's my new Greek brethren, my new Greek freak of the week.
She's a big freak, and the big freak of the week.
I don't think I'm ever going to not boogie to that outro. I saw surely there's a bit of you that quite likes the swagger from the new look from the Tigers. No, nothing reminds you of a younger Snicko.
Was I ever plain enough to just spam a meme? Come on now, Johnboy.
True. Like Israel 1.0, you probably wouldn't have been able to get away with it. But that leads us into our weekly review. And I've got a weekly preview, I should say. And there are a bunch of really, really fun games on the menu this week. I'm actually really looking forward to them. Obviously, the Raiders have the bye. And so they'll probably regain their top 4 spot when it's all said and done, especially because the top 4 is actually playing itself this
Very
week.
exciting game, isn't it? Very exciting week, sorry.
It is incredible. I am genuinely so pumped for the games this week. So we're going to start with the Monday game. We've got the South against Storm. Okay. I believe in the Finn Manning project. I want it put out there before I say what I'm about to say. Okay? But after they went over the wires, I watched their game last week against the Cows, and they got the absolute crap hammered out of them.
They got the dog kicked out of them. And that's what I saw.
The Storm have this unique ability to run up the score against bad teams.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the Storm are going to 19 plus them. Finn, I love you. I really do. But your record against Overdogs is not great this season.
I think the Storm, they're terrific flat track bullies. And it's a flat track served up for him this game.
The Storm are just the Bulldogs, but purple with less luck. But we're going to go to the second game on the round 12. And we've got the Dogs and the Dolphins. That'll be a good game. That'll be really fun. I said before, the Dolphins have this unique ability to pull randomly generational performances out of the hat. I don't think they'll get it done this week, though. I think the Dogs will drag them down into the muck in Balmore, and they'll eke out a 1-8 win over the Finns to secure.
You mustn't have been watching the Dogs recently. They're playing champagne footy. They're actually really good to watch. There's none of this drag them into the mucking. It's offloads that stick. It's Dom Ponkston through the middle. It's mobs and hell yeah. They're doing really good things.
I tell you what, Ponkston's another one I should talk about now, another point. But he'd be right at the forefront of Origin selection too.
Well, behind one short 155 centimetre man with a ponytail, but yeah, I digress.
But for Monday Night Football, we've had a reshuffle, so the Wires Sharks game's been moved to the Tuesday for a slot, which is seen
Battle of the West.
The Battle of the is that the inner West or just the West for Sydney? I think that's just the West. And it's Penrith against Para. That will be a very good game too. For Para, this is must win, especially because they have you lot next week.
Correct.
So they need to win this to stay in the hunt. For the Panthers, they really are just salvaging pride. I think the Eels get it done 9-18. They probably do it comfortably in the end. I think TBK's men have started to kind of just give me the impression that they're going through the motions, and I think it'll be difficult for them to regather whatever momentum they had lost from the middle of the season. Tuesday's got 2 games, so we've got Roosters, Knights, and Sharks Wires to start. Sharks Wires, Sharks 19 plus. Let's see about that. And that's
Roosters Knights, Roosters 19 plus. Let's go to Wednesday.
I think the Knights upset you. I think my mind's got the magic formula now, which is, maybe starting your good players and putting bench forwards on the bench. But the Wires are good, but they won't be good enough. The Roosters, I can see it going either way. I'll definitely be watching both of them. It's great to have the top four playing itself. You don't really get that too often outside of the finals, so it'd be a good watch. Your last 2 games Wednesday, Titans, Seagulls, and Cows, Tigers. Cows, Tigers will be interesting. So with Titans, Seagulls, Titans are kind of on the periphery of the chasing pack, so they're about 11.
A couple of mudslingers, those two.
That'll be an absolute dogfight. I think the Titans emerge victorious by 1-8, though. Well, it'll be tight, regardless. Cows, Tigers, I'm going to go Tigers 19+. That hurts me to say, but I think they'll have too much quality for the Cowboys. I don't know, anyone could beat the Rabbitohs by, 3 scores. It's not particularly impressive, and I think the Tigers are quite good at dispatching middle of the
I think they're
teams.
due. I think they're due to bounce back.
Pretty much. There's only so many big losses you can take. Snicko, anything you're looking forward to particularly this week?
Monday, 6 p.m, Dogs in their game. I think they're going to show up. Dogs versus Dolphins. Spoke about Justin Plays already. We touched briefly on Ponks, and it's just a superstar showdown, isn't it? And then, of course, Sharks Warriors, the other one to see this week. Very curious to see how all these games shake out, because I think if any team gets beaten too severely, it could shake up team list going into finals, knowing that everyone's going to play each other again. Yeah. So just a bit of added emphasis to the top 4 this week.
I think also, actually, before we wrap up for the night, Dogs Dolphins is borderline an Origin fullback showdown too. Well, obviously we'll see how the captains shake out, but with Pogston at the back for the Doggies, we could see maybe a teaser of what's to come towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and if it's not Origin at the end of the season, if it's anything else, it could be an Australian fullback showdown. So a lot to play for.
That could be very fun. But that, my friend, I think that's all we have time for this week. It's good to have you as always, Snicko. Big thank you guys as well, just generally before we finish, for sticking around with us. I know the Monday night episode wasn't ideal, but we're back to our regular scheduled programming now. And then you can hear us dribble on your Sunday evenings. But for now,
speak for yourself. That's
all we had time for. We'll see you in about 7 days' time. Well, no doubt I've got more to complain about. In the meantime, take care, brush your hair, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!